10 everyday things that were invented by NASA. You will never guess what the number one invention is. Like and subscribe for weekly videos. In the comments below, list one topic you think should be in a top 10 video and comment if you subscribe to this channel. For what reason are we subsidizing space travel, anyway? It's a well-known inquiry among citizens. Notwithstanding how stunning space travel is, numerous cynics contend that our cash would be better spent on ventures here on Earth. Nonetheless, these individuals don't realize that putting resources into science pipes this cash directly once again into society. It's assessed that each dollar put resources into NASA puts somewhere in the range of $7 to $14 back into the US economy, and it's not hard to perceive any reason why. At the point when researchers are pushed to respond to convoluted inquiries regarding endurance in space, it quite often prompts developments that can help us here on Earth. This list shows only a couple of the madly valuable items that have emerged from the space program. Glance around. Some may be in your home at the present time, or even in your body. 10 Insoles things being what they are. One little advance for man was a monster jump for curve uphold. The innovation utilized by NASA to manufacture spacesuits for the Apollo space travelers changed the manner in which shoes are developed, with the key expansion of insoles in fresher products. NASA's elastic embellishment strategies made it simpler for shoe organizations to fit cushioning into their point of view, while the light protection used to secure space travelers demonstrated similarly helpful in ensuring feet. NASA engineer Frank Rudy followed these innovations into the shoe business, inevitably proposing the stun-permeable plan utilized in Nike Air sneakers. Thanks to the science that carried men to the moon, individuals around the globe are strolling somewhat more serenely. 9 Phone cameras. A most helpful aspect concerning the information age is our capacity to snap and share pictures from a minuscule camera that fits in our pockets. Also, indeed, we have NASA to thank for that. The very idea of an advanced camera was first evolved at the Jet Propulsion Laboratory, JPL, during the 1960s when engineer Eugene Lally proposed utilizing a sorted-out matrix of light sensors to catch still images. In the 1990s, another JPL group built up an innovation that made shuttle cameras altogether more modest. This development additionally expanded the picture nature of these cameras just as their speed and battery life. At this point, unmistakably this innovation could be utilized for considerably more than telescopes. These minuscule cameras immediately advanced into everything from webcams to clinical extensions. So next time you take a selfie, take one moment to thank the space program. 8 Baby food. While taking care of infants can be a huge test, taking care of space travelers in space might be considerably harder. That is the reason NASA employed Martech Biosciences Corporation to make a wholesome enhancement for their astronauts. In investigating the utilization of green growth, in any case, these scientists found strains that delivered 2 unsaturated fats additionally found in the human bosom milk. Despite the fact that these mixes are made normally in our bodies, the specialists understood that their supplementation could help immature children develop stronger. If you're on the lookout for infant food, watch out for items containing DHA and ARA. There are no guarantees that your child will turn into a space traveler, yet you can in any event be upbeat realizing that they're eating like one. 7 Artificial limbs. In spite of the fact that the idea of prosthetics has been around for quite a long time, we can express gratitude toward NASA for making current appendages more grounded and more affordable. For a great part of the 20th century, fake appendages were made utilizing mortar and cornstarch molds. This cycle delivered appendages that were weighty and delicate, which made them unfeasible for some people. Desperate to enhance the Harshberg Prosthetic and Orthotic Center went to NASA's Marshall Space Flight Center for help. For the group of researchers who constructed outside tanks for the space carries, a couple of arms and legs weren't excessively difficult to handle. The group demonstrated Harshberg air froth protection, which shielded the tanks from heat while staying light and sturdy. To Hirschenberger's joy, this froth was similarly fruitful in fitting fake limbs. In decreasing the heaviness of their prosthetics, they additionally diminished expenses for patients and expanded creation. Generally speaking, this association was an overall success for the prosthetics business. 6. Memory foam. It's a straightforward advancement that ensures terrible backs and Space Explorer butts the same. For such a basic innovation, some may be amazed that adaptable padding was first made by NASA to pad their airplane seats. After its creation in 1969, maker Charles Yost built up an organization to market his item. He kept on enhancing, and benefit from, his innovation, which proceeded to be utilized in everything from clinical beds to cruiser helmets. Eventually, Yost's organization was perceived by NASA and went into the U.S. Space Foundation's Space Technology Hall of Fame for the ease and high ease of use of its material. You can rest sufficiently today realizing that your sleeping cushion has NASA's seal of endorsement. 5. Joysticks. Before their computer game days, joysticks were first utilized by the US Navy to set down planes. The issue with these sticks, however, was that they were enormous and cumbersome, unquestionably unfit to fit on your normal game regulator. All things considered, joysticks in the end made it onto spaceships, strikingly featuring in the Apollo missions. A fundamental gaming joystick previously appeared in 1969 with the arrival of Sega's missile. This stick permitted players to move in 4 ways, with an additional catch to fire shots. In any case, it was feeling the loss of the subtlety that permitted military-grade sticks to make more muddled maneuvers. So where did we get the little, touchy, multi-directional regulators we use today? Why, the space transport program, obviously. Subsequent to contemplating the flight reenactment regulators at the Johnson Space Center, gaming organization Thrustmaster Incorporated built up an ultra-realistic regulator that permitted a similar innovation to be utilized through a standard game port. The outcome was a satisfyingly geeky advancement that exhibits the genuine capability of gaming innovation. For cochlear implants, like any extraordinary association, NASA has a background marked by taking in splendid personalities and furnishing them with occasions to develop. Adam Kissier, the designer of the Cochlear Embed, was one of those minds. Although he created a clinical gadget utilized by a huge number of hard of hearing and deaf individuals, Kissier himself had no clinical foundation. Or maybe, he manufactured this gadget while functioning as a hardware instrumentation engineer at NASA, utilizing his designing information to go up against his own hearing problems. Kissier comprehended the restrictions of typical amplifiers, which just expanded the volume of sounds. All things considered, his gadget sidesteps defective sound receptors in the ear to send data directly to the mind. It does so utilizing a little amplifier, which gets sounds and converts them to electrical pulses. Kissier was enlisted into the US Space Technology Hall of Fame in 2003, a perfect representation of how imaginative idea that crosses orders can improve lives. 3. Invisible braces. To get a rocket into space, you have to have the correct materials. NASA analysts have spent incalculable hours creating materials that are light and solid, explicitly fitting them to illuminate a large number of problems. One of these materials, clear polycrystalline alumina, TPA for short, was created by an organization working with NASA to help with infrared following. In 1986, an organization called Unitech connected with the maker to tackle an alternate issue. Orthodontic care. Unitech was searching for a material that was sufficiently able to act like supports yet clear to decrease the shame that accompanies support face. It was a far-fetched matching, however the creation of these undetectable sections was a hit with consumers. After each of a material is a material. From heat chasing to teeth fixing, how we deal with it is up to us. 2. Satellite TV. Youngsters today may never know the battle of finding the ideal plot for your TV receiving wire. One of the most valuable commitments of the space program is its headway of remote correspondence, particularly for TV providers. After dispatching a fruitful gathering of satellites during the 1950s and 60s, NASA helped manufacture the main business satellite for AT&T, which took off in 1962. In later years, NASA's proceeded with correspondence's examination would improve the sign, picture, and life expectancy of these satellites. This improved government-subsidized innovation would in the end channel into business items. Despite the fact that space investigation can interface us to faraway universes and muddled logical headways, it assumes a similarly significant function in associating us to one another. 1. Bathing suits. After the 2004 Olympics, another improbable association sprang into being among NASA and Speedo. It might sound weird, yet there's a valid justification behind it. Probably the most ideal ways for serious swimmers to speed up is to decrease drag, which NASA's liquid elements specialists know some things about. In truth, NASA's Aeronautics Research Mission Directorate zeroes in their work on diminishing drag and expanding productivity for rocket. They contributed this information to build up the LZR Racer swimsuit. With flume testing and numerically educated plan, the two associations built up a suit that diminished drag 24% more than the past hustling suit. While it probably won't seem like a great deal, the divisions of a second spared by these suits truly matter in Olympic-level races. In 2008 alone, swimmers wearing the LZR Racer broke 13 world records. It's not advanced science to see that it had any kind of effect.